Welcome everybody to Real Estate with Ryan. Thank you for tuning in on a Saturday. Always excited to be here in the studios with you, my people, on a Saturday. Nothing better talking a little real estate. Again, if you're tuning in for the first time, say, who's that guy? Who's that loud guy in the background? That's Ryan Coleman, Hometown Realty. Every week, we want to give you the up-to-date information on the real estate market. If you're thinking about buying, if you're selling, if you're coming across state with the corona and you're quarantined and you got to get over here, school's about to start, or maybe school's not about to start, who do you turn to? Who do you trust? Well, we put this out there for you guys. You can trust us. You can trust your hometown experts. Our team is here, been doing it for 21 years in the real estate market. Never seen anything like this, but it's always new. And it's always exciting, and it's always challenging, and we're always up for the challenge. My team's up for the challenge, and excited to listen to you guys on a great day, on a great Saturday, being with you. So if you know somebody moving in the area, you need a great realtor, my team would be glad to help us. Easy number is 693-SOLD, 693-SOLD. So hope everybody's doing well. Hope you had a good week. Excited to be in here in the studios. I've got a good topic for you. We're going to jump right into it. As you know, I always do this show with my wife. Well, my wife is on maternity leave, so she's helping. She's in the house, but she's taking care of baby Isaac and Kinsley, and she's got her hands full. Sends all the love. Hope everybody's doing wonderful. A lot going on. Here it is May. It's hard to believe right around the corner. It's Labor Day. Labor Day. My wife was really just talking to me the other day, and she goes, honey, you know Labor Day is Monday. I said, really? Is it? Hard to believe when you're so busy. And then I said, well, if Labor Day is that day, what's on June 2nd? She goes, what is that? I said, it's my birthday, man. June 2nd's my birthday. So if I don't get to talk to you guys, happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. So show me some love on social media. If you hear me out there, wish me happy birthday. Hope you guys have an awesome Memorial Day, and hope everybody's doing well. So we've seen the real estate market be very, very busy. So much going on. And we've got a good topic for you today. I think you'll enjoy it. And I think it pertains to the real estate market as a whole. So we're going to talk about thinking about selling for sale by owner, question mark. So if you're thinking about selling your home 2020, 2019, you might have thought about possibly putting it on the market for sale by owner, not working with an agent. Not a problem with that, and there's a lot of opportunities in the marketplace, and you may have been successful. Or you may have had a horror story and things didn't work out, or you may have left money on the table. We're going to table all that today. We're going to talk about selling for sale by owners. What's the pros, the cons? Do you do it? What do the experts recommend? I mean, bottom line, in this market, let's face it, it's about putting the most amount of money in your pocket. It's protecting you and your family. You know, do what makes sense. And so I've got a lot of good articles. We got to pull some up from my friend Dave Ramsey. He's got some advice on selling for sale by owner. And we're just going to give you an advice here, kind of the real estate market in East Tennessee and how that's shaping up. So we have seen a little bit of that, more than we've seen lately. And of course, when the market is pretty good for an opportunity to sell, there's always that opportunity. All right. And as a for sale by owner, why would you not try? I always tell agents, and we consistently help a lot of clients in the marketplace. We help a lot of clients, whether it's for sale by owner or not. And you have to wonder that if you're selling, why wouldn't you consider avoiding possibly some of the commission? You know, my friend Dave Ramsey goes, you know, Ryan, I'm a big consumer advocate. I'm always looking for the consumer to save money. And if it made sense for them to save money, you know, Dave's about not being into debt, saving as much as you can and planning for that rainy day fund, I would do it. But he goes, you know, I still in today's market see that there's going to be a better advantage by selling with an agent, getting more money in less time is going to profit. So we'll go into that. So even Dave's recommending it, so I'm not alone here on the show. And I get it. You know, you're tuning in. You say, Ryan, you're a real estate agent. You're a real estate broker. You guys charge those fees. You guys don't do anything but put a sign in the yard and hope somebody else sells it. I get it. I'm with you. You know, we are in sales, and to each is their own. But we have found in the marketplace today, and by a lot of other people, that if you have a great agent in your corner, that's why we do these shows every week. If you have a great person at what they're good at, an expert in the marketplace that knows the marketplace well, that can walk you through the contracts, that can get your home marketed in this market and out of state and get the deal done, there's value in that. And consumers pay value when time, money is exchanged. You know, I'll give you an example. We had a for sale by owner client that we just are putting under contract today, and they're in Farragut, and they're just great people. And we sold this home literally over the phone through a FaceTime, where the other agent that they got a hold of wouldn't communicate, didn't give the level of service. We put this deal together rapidly, but it was not easy. We had to work out a lot of details. They're all the way in Oregon, and that's kind of exciting. You say, well, Ryan, you're just in there in little East Tennessee. Who are you reaching down there? And I think, that's the exciting part of our marketing. What my team does here is how much time and effort we spend to not just be that typical agent, right? Just put a sign in the yard. And I say typical agent, somebody in the business, that could happen. The typical sales process is to do the bare minimum and hope somebody else does the work, or another agent sells it, or something else like that. And in today's marketplace, it's always about marketing, because we know marketing is going to drive prices up. Now, the challenge is, as my friend Dave Ramsey will say, as a for sale by owner, the biggest challenge is both you, the buyer, and the seller can't save on the commission. That's the biggest misconception, is that I can put the home on the market and I'm going to save the commission. We'll dive into this show, but we were able to use our marketing going back to help our friends in Farragut sell in Oregon, put the deal together, match them up, and we earned a competitive rate that made sense for both parties. I think buyers and sellers, and we look in the real estate market today, guys, buyers and sellers will always determine the market, right? I always tell my clients, I says, we have our opinion, we have data, we have facts, we have pending sales, we have solds, we have comparables, but at the end of the day, it's what a buyer and seller are willing to pay. And in the marketplace, what you can negotiate, what a seller and an agent can work for and negotiate services, that's what it's all about. You've got to demonstrate more value to increase your demand. And so this is what we're constantly trying to do. But we're talking about going into for sale by owner, some of the things that you'll have, and we can't always save on the commission. Can't always save. Both parties can't save. One of the biggest things that we feel, if you're selling your home, you may have had some success yourself. Maybe put the home on the market in a really hot market where we list the property, it's sold. Maybe you've done it a couple times and you're feeling like a seasoned pro. And I'm with you. And I hear my clients all the time. They say, Ryan, I've done this a time or two. This is no big deal. I've sold multiple homes myself. And you always have that opportunity. Remember, in a marketplace where if you're not needed, I know our service is, if it doesn't make sense and we can't bring value, hey, we don't want to charge you anything. We want to bring value to you. We want to help like these great people find the right buyer in Oregon for their home. There's always going to be a right buyer. And with the right buyer will be the right pricing. Some of the things you have to think about as we'll get into the show with a for sale by owner you may have to deal with, and you may already know this, but we're going to go through some of this. Now more than ever, safety is your biggest priority. One of the biggest challenges as a for sale by owner putting in your home is controlling all the people coming in. Some of the different channels that are out there, the Realtor.coms, the Zillows, Facebook Marketplace, things like that. You never know where people are coming from and the quality of the buyers. Are they qualified? So in today's market with COVID-19 and everything going on, now more than ever, making sure the safety, making sure people are wearing masks or wiping things down, all those are very, very important. How are we going to reach those buyers in today's marketplace on the out-of-states? These are some things that we want to think about as a for sale by owner, and what we're going to do to market that property. Sometimes we get into negotiations, and how are we going to negotiate on contracts are important. Remember, when buyers see the for sale by owner sign, they think automatically that there's a good deal. Let's face it, buyers and sellers. I always tell everybody, look, sellers want to get as much money as they can. And I was talking to a seller the other day, and I was joking. I said, listen, every seller thinks their property is the best property, right? And she chuckled. I said, of course. And everybody's got the most updates. And trust me, most of the homes, the money has been spent, and that's well justified. But every buyer has a reason on the opposite to get the best deal. Have you ever heard those sayings where they say, hey, how much you willing to take? What's your best price? Will you do a little owner financing? How about the one on for sale by owner? Well, I put my home on the market, but I need to make it contingent. and we tie you up all summer. These are things that are very, very important on negotiating that you need to make sure, and there's a power of having a great agent in your corner that can work you through that. I think now more than ever we'll go into qualifications, kind of what's going on in the marketplace as the lender guidelines change, as we're dealing with job layoffs, unemployment claims at the highest we've seen. Getting financing is the second part of the deal. Look, we're coming on a break. I hope you're enjoying this show. Stay with us, and we'll be right back here in a few moments.
When it comes to the real estate market, turn to the experts that focus on you. With over 20 years experience, Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty knows what it takes. It's the right marketing. It's the right exposure. Ryan and April will use their expertise each step as they guide you through the home buying and selling process. Ultimately, it's about results.
You need someone you can trust that is committed to you.
You have a lot of choices, but the choice is simple. It's Hometown Realty.
Your friend promised we wouldn't be homeless.
He promised. He's doing everything to fix it.
You need to call and have him fix it now.
Hey, man.
Found us a house.
No, not yet. Let me call you back. We're working on it.
Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty.
He says he's doing the best he can do, honey.
Well, he's taken too long. I knew we should have gone with Ryan Coleman.
Choosing the right agent is never easy.
Call your hometown experts. We'll take care of all the details and make sure you don't get stuck in a motel. All right, guys, back in the studio, burning the midnight oil. We're here talking a little real estate, talking about for sale by owners. If you put your home on the market in today's opportunity real estate market, you may have said, well, Ryan, I'm not paying you any money, not paying you any commission. I can do this myself. I've got it covered. I've got a cell phone. We'll put it on Zillow. We'll put it on one of these sites, and we will be good to go. And, and sometimes you have those opportunities. Reality is competition is going to drive prices up. And you want to make sure that if those things work, more power to you. I think anybody in this marketplace that's a great agent that works with you, if there's not value involved, I don't think anybody wants to charge anything. Maybe there might be some people there. I know we don't. I don't feel good unless we've earned our keep per se. And I think there's power in a great agent working for you. I see it every day. And if you're not in the marketplace, it's hard to understand. You look at the price tag, everything's going up, everything's ultra expensive, and it seems like everybody's in their pocket. I mean, everybody. And so I know it's a sensitive subject. I really do. And I don't take it lightly. And this industry, as things change, we have over 5,000 agents in the Knoxville surrounding market. You'll pretty much see that some of those people in the marketplace won't be here. And that's just unfortunate. And it's challenging because the market has its ebbs and flows, It has a marketplace where we have cycles. And I always tell real estate has cycles. When the market's good, everybody gets in the business and everybody comes in. When the market leaves, a lot of people exit. And that's challenging because the real estate market the last 10 years has been really good and overall, but we're due for a change. And so when you're making a decision selling, whether it's for sale by owner or hiring a great agent, these are things that you definitely have to evaluate. I think one of the most important things when you're selling for sale by owner is you have to understand that there's some legal standpoints that you want to make sure we cover. One of the biggest things are the property disclosures, and they've changed those routinely. And I can just tell you that in a litigious society that we're in now, it seems like everybody has a reason to sue somebody for something, and real estate is at the top of the game. And they're looking for a reason where, you go into those floors and you call them hardwood, and they're a different type of flooring. Or let's say we got the crawl space and we didn't disclose that there's water or there's mildew or mold or fungus is what they would call it. Well, it ends up being a huge lawsuit. And these are things that proper guidance on the front end are going to help us a whole lot. Let's look at the last couple years. Selling for sale by owners actually has dropped from 19% to over 8% over the last 20 years. I wonder why. With the market being so hot, I would think those numbers would be different. But let's use an example here. This is Frank, and Frank listed his home in Denver, Colorado. Frank is a tech-savvy homeowner in Denver. Thought he'd skip the agent's commission. He'd sell it himself. He researched his home's value, found a buyer, and got the house under contract, and it seemed like an easy breezy deal. Unfortunately, Sam, is it Sam? Yeah, it is Frank, sorry. All right, Frank. Incorrectly priced the home. The error cost him $30,000 to get out of the contract. In your dealings with potential sellers, you're going to run into people who will question the worth of an agent, or you'll come across a smug homeowners who get frustrated about his home listed for sale by owners. So this is what the article starts talking about. But one of the biggest things that Frank was dealing with is in the marketplace where you have a great agent and knowing the values, markets change on a dime. And real estate, it's always about location, location, location. And so I think the biggest mistake, I know I was talking to a client about 2 weeks ago, and she was selling her property, and I think she sold it, okay? I think she sold it as a pending contract, and she sold it for sub owner. And I said, more power to her, and I was congratulating her. And I said, one thing really concerns me, though, you're at $71 a foot. The home was gorgeous. It was in North Knoxville, and it was, 2,800 square feet. And the conversation was, Ryan, that, I'm not paying a commission. I'm not paying half a commission. And I think that's the biggest conception is that we sell our home for sale by owner. We say we're not going to have to pay a commission. And the reality is, more than likely, if you're like Frank, either you're underpricing the home, or if you're going to have an agent involved with the transactions, these are things that you're going to come up to that there's going to be a commission. So you're going to have to pay some commission, maybe, right? Maybe. So reality is when we're looking to sell our home, we're going to try to save maybe a point or 2 or 3 points, right? So the reality is, how can we offset that? I always tell, listen, everybody, if you're thinking about selling, it's always about what you're going to walk away with. And if you can walk away with more money, it makes sense and you need to do it. But I'm always open for a conversation, right? We always want to be open for a conversation to look at things a different way. I always think before you go for sub owner, or if you're considering being for sub owner or on the market, interview a great agent that does a great value and look and see what you can do if there's value there. Because the challenge is, some of the things dealing with for sale by owners, whether you're dealing with appraisal issues, loan documentation, whether it's fraudulent papers, deposits, bad checks, and then we talked about in the beginning part of the show, the lender guidelines. Listen, if you're not in the business every day, you're not knowing these things. They're going to give you a pre-approval letter. They'll go on .com and get a Quicken letter or Loan Depot letter. And the challenge is those papers are not worth what they're written on. You need a great lender that, with the credit scores changing, the lender's guidelines changing, and unemployment moving, you may think you have a deal and end up moving out of your property, buying another one non-contingent, to find out that your home didn't sell or the loan fell through at the last minute. Now, I get it. It could happen to anybody in any particular time frame, but the challenge is it happens to a lot of for sale owners that we come across, and it's very, very frustrating. One of the biggest challenges that we talk about, and our friend Dave Ramsey says, when we're talking about buying a home for sale by owner and dealing with that process, that the data is out there, that the median price, and I was looking through this here, it's kind of hard to believe, that the median price was going to be somewhere around $200 selling for sale by owner, and with an assisted realtor was somewhere closer to $240, $249 to be exact. That sounds like a big, big difference. But 93% of people are listing with great agents and working with them and putting more money in their pocket. One of the biggest problems, and I think having a great agent working for you in a corner, is determining that market list price, like Frank had a problem listing at that. Now, you have that opportunity of getting an appraisal, and that always gives you an opportunity in the marketplace to see. One of the challenges I have with the appraisal, the challenge with that is, right, with the appraisal, a lot of times the appraisers calls us. In a marketplace that we're in, guys, things are moving very, very fast pace. And when the market moves very fast pace, sales that happened 6 months ago, 12 months ago, really don't have any relevance. So you could list your home now, and with the opportunity and what's going on in the market, you could easily leave another $10,000 or $15,000 on the table. I was looking at this article, and I wanted to come back and tell you, it's kind of hard to realize the numbers. But Dave put out here and said, back in 2018, for sale by home for sale by owner homes sold at a median price of $200,000. And that's a lot less than the median list price, sales price, with an agent-assisted sale at $264,900. I was shocked to hear that. Almost 25% higher when they decide to list with an agent. As we're running down the show, going kind of tightening down on for sale by owner, kind of close out with some of these articles. What I would say for you is, at the end of the day, as a business owner, and you're a business owner of your house, let's look at it like that. Let's make business decisions. Let's look at all options. And I think in today's market, where the real estate is changing, you need to be looking at what's best for you. Is it for sale by owner? Is it listing with an agent? Maybe it's a relocation company. See what's best for you. Interview both. Draw a line down the page, pros and cons, the old school way, and see what makes sense. I know the challenge with some of our for sale by owners that we're dealing with is the lack of marketing. And one of the biggest things as you've got for sale by owners is when you have it out there, you really are isolating a good part of the market. Our friends in Oregon that just bought the property, they're not spending a lot of time going through for sale by owners and maybe not finding the most motivated clients, right? Unfortunately, just as agents get a bad rap, sometimes for sale by owners get a bad rap, not being that motivated, not being able to show on an easy basis. And so when buyers are moving with school and time is of the essence, they need to make decisions. They're always going to go with a great agent to help them in the process. And see, losing that pool of buyers not only costs you time, could cost you money. And you could be like Frank, leave an extra $30,000 on the table. Don't do that. I tell you what we do. We'll set up an interview for you. Doesn't cost you anything, and you can call us, and we'll be glad to help you. As always, great to hear from you. 693-SOLD, and we're going to see you next week. You have a great weekend.